Building sites, whether new construction or renovation, often have jobs that need specialised equipment. When these needs have been assessed, the necessary plant and equipment is usually obtained from a hire shop. When there is no on-site power available, one of the first requirements could be a generator. Generators should be set up on level ground. The oil level must be checked and topped up if required. Before fueling any machinery, it is important to check what type of fuel is used. Most combustion engines have similar starting routines. To start the generator, the fuel is turned on. The choke is turned on, and the switch is set to the on position. Once the engine is started, the choke is returned to the off position. Combustion engines exhaust toxic gases, so generators should not be used in enclosed spaces. Power from a portable generator is equally as dangerous as mains power. Operation in wet conditions could cause fatal electric shock. An earth leakage or residual current device should always be fitted in line and checked. All leads should be tested and tagged. Earthing the generator is done by driving a metal peg into the ground and wiring it to the earth point. Should a fault occur, this allows the electrical current to take the path of least resistance to earth. Extension leads should be fully uncoiled to prevent build-up of heat. To limit voltage drop, power leads should be kept as short as possible. Suspending leads keeps them safely away from water and traffic. Where this can't be done, on-ground leads must be protected. To choose the correct generator, the number of tools to be used at any one time must be known. Generator output is expressed in volt-amps or watts. By adding up the wattage from the compliance plate on each tool, the combined wattage is calculated. A generator which exceeds this total is chosen. This allows a safe reserve of power. Tools exceeding generator capacity could result in damage to both generator and tools. Demolition hammers and power scrapers come in a range of sizes and power. Some can be used at shoulder level. Others are only safely operated at waist height or at ground level. Choosing the correct bit from the range available makes the job easier. The standard builder's barrow has a capacity of about 1/8 of a cubic metre. Wheelbarrows are the most common way to carry materials on building sites. Industrial vacuum cleaners can be used for general cleaning up. Appropriate personal protective equipment should be worn. Some machines are designed for both dry and wet operations. This permits the removal of surface water on concrete slabs as well as other special applications. Some vacuum cleaners are designed to operate as dust extractors for power tools. In addition to wheelbarrows, pallet trolleys can be used to move heavy loads, such as these boxes of wall and floor tiles. The tines of the pallet trolley slide under the timber pallet. The hydraulic lifting mechanism raises the load clear of the floor, allowing it to be moved easily to the required location. Pallet trolleys have a safe working load of about 1.5 tons. Rotary hammers are similar to demolition hammers, but have an additional function. The rotary action permits drilling applications. When drilling, the handle is changed for safety and the rotary action engaged. Standard bits will drill up to 50 mm diameter. 160 mm can be achieved using a core bit. A range of bits for various applications is available for both rotary hammers and demolition hammers. Heavy-duty demolition tasks can be addressed using breakers. The electric breaker is convenient because it requires only an electric power lead for operation. The 25 kilogram hydraulic breaker is relatively light, but outperforms heavier pneumatic breakers. Power comes from a hydraulic pump circulating oil to the tool through supply and return hoses. The portability of the unit allows access to difficult sites. Care must be taken to keep hose connections clean and free from grit. The traditional pneumatic breaker is driven by compressed air. A petrol or diesel-driven compressor delivers the power. The air hose must be securely coupled and pinned to the compressor. A short blast of air removes any grit from the hose before it is connected to the breaker. Equipment to protect both sight and hearing must be used. On completion of the job, the air supply to the tool is turned off. The air remaining under pressure in the hose is released. The hose connection can now be uncoupled safely. As well as large trailer-mounted compressors, smaller electric compressors are used on job sites. They power nail guns and other small air tools. Compressed air is stored in a tank or receiver. A pressure regulating switch maintains constant pressure by turning the motor on or off according to demand. A water trap collects moisture given up by the air when it is compressed. This trap must be emptied frequently, especially in humid conditions. Water also accumulates at the base of the air tank. This is released regularly through the drain plug. If the compressor has a sump, the oil level must be checked and topped up if required. Air intake filters remove dust from the air before it is compressed. The type of filters may vary, but they must be either cleaned or replaced regularly for efficient operation. Routine checking of drive belt tension should be carried out. Air hoses and connections must be kept free of dirt and grit. For a neat cut, a concrete saw is used. Cutting is done with a water-cooled diamond blade. The saw is fueled with the correct mix and the choke set. A decompression button allows easy starting. A flow of water over the blade during the cutting process keeps the blade cool and removes waste. A bench-mounted masonry saw also uses a water-cooled blade. The diamond dust bonded to the cutting edge of the blade makes light work of cutting brick and other masonry. Several light passes, each of about 5 millimeters in depth, is the best method of cutting. The diamond blade produces a neat and accurate cut. Mechanical trenching machines produce neat trenches with minimal disruption to surroundings. Once the pipes are laid and the trench backfilled, it may be necessary to compact material to minimise future subsidence. This can be done using a mechanical rammer. As for other combustion engines, a routine starting procedure is followed. The rammer is effective in the narrow confines of a trench. Each pass of the ram consolidates material to a depth of 450 millimeters. When compacting is required over a wider surface, a plate compactor is used. Applications include compacting bedding under slabs and preparing surfaces for pavers. Plate compactors are effective to a depth of 300 millimeters. Rain and flooded trenches are a fact of life in the construction industry. For work to proceed, the trenches must be pumped out. A shaft-driven pump is one way to do this. The portable power unit is put in place and the pump connected to it with a flexible drive shaft. With the delivery hose coupled to the pump housing, the assembly is submerged in the trench. In operation, power is delivered to the impeller through the flexible shaft. The high volume capacity of the pump empties the trench rapidly. If power is available, an electric submersible pump is an alternative. All electrical components are fully sealed in the watertight housing. When immersing the pump, weight is taken on the retrieval rope and not the power cable. This is also a high-volume pump. Small concreting jobs are conveniently carried out with a tilting drum concrete mixer. The drum is powered by an electric or petrol motor, which turns it at about 20 revolutions per minute. A full drum mix is a convenient load for transport by barrow. Routine maintenance ensures a long serviceable life for the mixer. Prompt cleanup of leftover slurry in the barrel is an important aspect of this maintenance. Wiping bare metal parts with a film of oil prevents rust build-up between jobs. Manufacturers' recommendations regarding regular greasing should be followed. Regular maintenance should also include checking the drive belt tension. A loose or slack belt will cause slipping and loss of power under load. Wheelbarrows are the most common way to carry materials on building sites. The bulk of the load should be placed centrally and forward in the tray, close to the wheel. Incorrect lifting practices can cause back injury. To lift correctly, the operator uses the legs and keeps the back straight. Tipping should be controlled and gradual, not a rapid discharge of the load that catapults the barrow forward. Maintenance on a barrow is minimal. It involves washing the tray, keeping the pneumatic tyre inflated, and lubricating the wheel bearing. When concrete is placed, air is trapped in the mix and must be removed. On small concreting jobs, this can be done by tapping the formwork or spading. On larger jobs, an immersion vibrator is used to compact the mix. The vibrating poker head is placed in the concrete and its action removes the trapped air cavities. The end result is a dense, durable concrete. Concrete surfaces are finished by floating. Small jobs are conveniently done by hand. Larger expanses of concrete can be mechanically finished with a power float or helicopter. The direction of movement is controlled by raising or lowering the handles. Lifting the handles moves the float to the left and dropping them moves it to the right. As the concrete becomes hard, the pitch of the blades is increased to prevent them digging into the surface. Another tool used to finish concrete is the terrazzo grinder. Sometimes called a concrete grinder, it is often used on hardened concrete to repair rough or rain-damaged surfaces. Grinding to a smooth, level surface is achieved by abrasive blocks fitted to the rotating head. Varying grades of abrasive are available for different finishes. Protective equipment is essential when operating the grinder. Height adjustment allows compensation for wearing of the abrasive blocks. This grinding process can be applied to pigmented concrete containing a variety of aggregate colours or materials. The highly decorative finish resulting is known as terrazzo, which is often used to lend distinction to shopping malls and corporate foyers.